What's up, guys? Welcome in. It is Friday's version of Money Shots. I'm still trying to get out this tweet because I'm trying to be a little bit creative here, and it's not coming to me as easily as it normally does. Maybe that's because my brain's a little fried from the week. I've had a long week. But hey, Astros are up 3-2 in the series, and we're going back to Minute Maid, baby. Sorry, Booze. I know you're shaking your head at me right now.
Love that for you, Megan.
Obviously, I'm happy. But how are you two doing?
I'm doing great. You called me out yesterday for being rather low energy, and that was because I had only played 2 college games thus far. I was still looking for my parlay. I was just kind of like, I just felt like a little beat down, if you will. So I slammed a Celsius before today's show. I'm gonna bring the fucking heat. I'm ready.
And Cheah, what shenanigans were happening on the yak today? One must know.
I have to wear cleats for a week.
That would be fun. You're gonna slip and bust your ass so many times.
Potentially. Yeah.
Wait,
I got to figure out.
like during your commute, do you know how bad your feet are gonna hurt walking through New York City in cleats?
It's not heels. It's cleats. So there will be shoes. It's just I got like pegs under them. What will suck is that it's not gonna be that bad, but in the walk from Penn Station to the office, which is like 3 blocks or so, like I could potentially walk over a grate and get stuck. So that's why.
Are we doing metal or plastic?
I don't know. This happened like 20 minutes ago, so I haven't really given it too much thought.
You don't have like specific rules that you have to abide by yet?
No.
But it's not icy in New York yet, so at least you won't fall.
I vote metal cleats only because they'll make a lot more noise.
Click clack, didn't hear it's coming?
Yeah.
Click clack, didn't hear what's.
It'll be more obnoxious that way, walking through the office.
Yeah.
Disturbing everybody.
Yeah, it won't be that, but I'd much rather get that than like acrylic nails or something like that. So that's fine.
Why?
I would die if you got a full set, Cheah. Like you could just match me and Megan on my sausage fingers.
No,
we have to get them like pretty long. So like
you can't get them. Fake nails are now. You're not allowed to wear those to the office because Clemmer left his all over the pod room. So it's only a joke. Only a joke. Only a joke.
Something don't get the content emails, Megan. We've been over this. No more inside jokes if I don't get them.
Okay, yes, ma'am. No more inside jokes. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the game that was last night. That honestly I didn't end up playing at all. I thought I was going to take that first half with you, Kelly, but I decided, why do I want to watch the one Philly team win today? Which again, shout out Booze, you did get that one, but I didn't really watch much of that game. My eyes are fixated on the World Series. But obviously, the Eagles are still just fucking rolling. What did y'all think of the game last night?
Yeah, didn't think much of it. The Eagles didn't really care. How much did the Eagles care? I mean, the Texans at least tried. They came out early, punched them in the mouth. That was interesting. Did not expect to see that, especially after, people are like, nah, don't want to play for you guys anymore, a.k.a. Brandon Cooks. I thought the Texans kept it respectable. They covered the spread. If you bet the closing number, the end. It was just like every other Thursday night game. Who did Jeff Bezos piss off in the NFL? He gets his giant Amazon contract, and they're like, here's every shitty matchup you could never want to watch.
I'm with you. Cheah, did you have any action on the game last night? Did that big brain have any parlays or anything hit for you?
Yeah, we had a boosted parlay. It was Jalen Hurts over 282 combined passing and rushing. Jalen Hurts over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and Eagles minus 5.5. We missed it by 15 yards. So bummer there. Eagles really took the air out of the ball in the second half. A lot of Miles Sanders. The Texans couldn't stop the run, so hard to blame him. But I was betting on Jalen Hurts, the Houston kid, going home, and he had a great game. Just one medium-sized pass away.
That was a good narrative. Wouldn't have even thought to look into Jalen Hurts going home. And I truly am probably the biggest narrative loving better that there is. If there is something if there's a story that goes with it, my money is going on it.
Can I give you one? I just put out for tonight. It's NBA.
I would love nothing more for you to give me a pick on Money Shots, which, by the way, you should be liked and subscribe to the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube page so that you can watch this episode on Sunday before you lock in your bets. Because we got Stephen Cheah in here that not only gives you laughs, but props, and now gets to wear cleats. So more laughs. So yes, give me some winners, Stephen Cheah.
Sorry, I'm derailing this. I do one NBA pick a day. We're 12-5 so far. The pick
Okay.
tonight
Ooh.
is Marcus Morris, who's a forward on the Clippers, over 21.5 combined points, rebounds, and assists. I put this out about 20 minutes ago. He is playing the Spurs.
25.5.
21.5. Over
21.5.
combined
Points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah. So he's on the Clippers. He's playing the Spurs tonight. In 2019, Marcus Morris was a free agent, and he first visited the Spurs. In free agency, you like basically verbally agree, and there's a moratorium of a couple days, and then you officially sign. It almost never happens where a guy will say that he's going to sign, and but that's the case with Marcus Morris and the Spurs. So he agreed to a 2-year, $20 million deal with the Spurs. The moratorium happens, and then he has second thoughts. He pulls out. He signs a 1-year, $15 million deal with the Knicks. Greg Popovich was because they traded, I forget his name, first name, Bertans, the big shooting lefty, the center. So they traded him to free up room to sign Marcus Morris. He called Marcus Morris unprofessional. In 4 meetings since then, Marcus Morris has averaged 27 combined points, rebounds, and assists against the Spurs. So that is the play tonight.
So it's just straight vendetta. I like it, and I like.
He is a grudge guy too. So.
Yeah,
I'm all for the vendettas.
Yes.
I'm a big grudge girl. I can hold a grudge for pretty much as long as humanly possible.
See? And Megan doesn't understand all my Scorpio hate. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That Scorpio tail just waits. Might be 10 years from now, and you just get stabbed in the back of the head randomly in Baton Rouge at a casino. I never know.
You never know, and I mean, I don't plan on going to Baton Rouge prison or jail. Prison. I'd be prison if I murdered you. So
I meant proverbially with the
well,
Scorpio tail.
I thought you meant
Never
like.
mind.
I mean, because I've always. Never mind.
I don't think you're the violent one of the money shots trio here.
No, we're derailing. Let's go ahead and get into the weekend picks here. I got 3 whole picks as of right now. I'll probably be adding more to my card, but my anxiety is a little high between LSU, Bama, and the Astros potentially winning a World Series. So yeah, I'm not loving the NFL card, but because maybe my brain's just a little stuffy up there. First though, I'm taking a teaser. Bengals just to win essentially -1, and then the Jags plus the 7.5. The Bengals are the better team here. I know that they've had 2 kind of shit games essentially, but they're 6-1 ATS last 7 home games, 91 ATS in their last 10 games following a straight up win. And yeah, besides from getting reeled by the Browns, which was a surprise to me, which not a surprise to a lot of people, but a surprise to me. You know, they've looked great, and you get Chase back this week, I believe. So you know, they should just absolutely gash up that Panthers secondary. And then as for the Jags, they've kept it really close in all of their games, and I'm getting 7.5 here. And I think that they can keep it respectable. What do you two think about the teaser? And then if you have a play on either of those games, let me know. If not, just give me another pick so that we can give these people some winners. I would suggest fading me though, because I've been extremely cold.
Megan, this is kind of one of those games where I agree with you on the teaser spot, but I have my concerns with the Bengals being able to stop the run. And you brought up that Browns game. I was on the Browns, but not for any other reason other than it was a divisional home underdog, Monday Night Football, and the Bengals can't stop the run. But I think Bengals -1, if they lose that game, that's not a good look. If they lose it as a 7-point favorite at home.
Now 7.5. So the teaser spot is essentially.
Yeah, no, it's a great teaser spot. I like that a lot. I wouldn't lay the 7.5 with this team, just because of the.
I mean, didn't Carolina just beat the Bucks, right?
Yeah,
Tom Brady and the Bucks.
We've talked about Tom Brady. Come on. I mean, you can hurt Stephen Cheah's feelings all you want. He just had to watch him on Thursday night with myself and a Ravens fan. Yeah, he called it at halftime. He said they've been too good. What could go wrong in the second half? And the Bucs can't stop the run either. So, yeah, my first play for this weekend is going to be the Bears. I know you said pre-show that you hated it. You were on the other side. We've talked about it a ton of times that I like these plus 5.5 lines. We saw it a couple times this year, and that's because those teams either cover or win the game outright. This is a Bears team that I think has improved. I think what Justin Fields is able to do and open up that offense over the last couple of weeks has been really exciting to see. particularly for the Bears fans. But
Are you
for
not
me,
worried about the amount of times he's going to get sacked tonight? Are you not worried about the fact that they're only averaging 126.9 passing yards per game while Miami is averaging nearly 300?
well, Miami's averaging a ton, but this is one of the best secondaries in the league. So I am concerned as a Tyreek Hill fantasy owner this week that they're going to double team him and he's going to get a nothing burger and then I'm going to lose and then I'm going to
Well,
blame
Jalen
CD.
Waddle will make up for all of that. Jalen Waddle will go down there and hit maybe a little double dip.
I don't think so, Megan. I think this looks like a low scoring affair. I know that sounds a little crazy to say in Miami games, but 45.5 looks a little too high. I made the game 24-21. Miami squeaks out the win at Soldier Field, but I do think this is just a touch too many points.
Well, I think you're a bit out of touch because I think Tua is going to go out there, cover the 4.5. Because if you look at the Bears, their statistics are just down there at the bottom of the barrel, just almost every single one of them. If you look at it, but I want to know what the big brain thinks. What does big brain think over there?
So this is my favorite game of the weekend, and opposite of Kelly, I think this will be a little bit of a high scoring game. You saying that it's going to be low scoring worries me a little bit because usually pretty sharp on those. There's one prop I like a lot. It is Justin Fields combined passing and rushing yards. So this is a nice new little feature in the Barstool Sportsbook where you can do a combination.
Now
of both.
tell the people where you can find it because I get all of these messages all the time, Megan. Where are you? How are you putting this in? Where are you finding this at? What part of the app is it on? Can you
Sure.
give the people out there a little explanation of where you're finding this great new feature?
Yeah, so if you're new to prop betting, if you just go to the NFL slate or the NFL tab within the Barstool Sportsbook, it'll have the team matchups and over and unders, and you can bet from there. If you click on more bets, it'll then open the game up and it'll open up all the props for you. And then on the top headers, there's a bunch. There's parlay plus, game props, game touchdown, game field goals, touchdown score, and it gets into passing and rushing, receiving, etc. So Justin Fields' line is 226.5. They've really opened it up with him a bit as far as calling more designed runs. And so his past couple of games, I'm not going to completely rely on that because the team could strategize to try and take a lot of that away. But I like his combined number of passing plus rushing yards. And 226.5 feels pretty low to me. His last 3 games, he's averaged 265 and hasn't been lower than 255. So that is a play I like a lot. Justin Fields over 226.5 combined passing and rushing yards. The other prop in this game I really like is Tyreek Hill over catches. So
Yay.
Every single game this year, except one against Buffalo, Tyreek Hill has had 7 catches or more. His line is 6.5, and you're paying some juice. It's minus 148. But every single game this year outside of one, 7 out of 8 times, Tyreek Hill has had at least 7 catches. In this offense, they are scheming up ways to get him touches, so I like that number.
How crazy is it that people just thought that with Tyreek Hill being taken away from Mahomes, both of them were going to have such a significant drop off when both of them have just excelled exponentially? I mean, I just think that's fantastic. I mean, I've always been a Mahomes fan, and Hill's obviously a fucking stud. I just think it's crazy how people think that they just were not going to, like, will they marry Kate and Ashley? They're fine apart. They'll be okay. All right, what else are we thinking here? Because I got one, and I know Kelly, our friend Adam, is on the other side. I saw the good old email this morning. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm taking the Vikings. I know it's a little baity. The Commanders have been on a little hot streak with Heineke. But I really just think that this Vikings team isn't going. I don't think the Commanders are going to be able to slow down this Vikings team. I think there's just so much talent, whether it's Cook or Jefferson or Thielen or then they got a new tight end. What's his fucking name? Just lost it. But anyway,
TJ Hawkinson.
There you go. Thank you. I just don't think that this Commanders team is as good as they've been putting on the last couple of weeks. I know there's obviously a ton of drama surrounding the team, which either makes a team crash or makes them go the other way. The fuck around and find out chart. But I'm hoping that they're gonna fuck around and find out that the Vikings are gonna win and they're gonna cover the 3. What do y'all think about that game?
I don't love it, Megan. I don't want any part of it. The Commies have had some really incredible fourth quarter comebacks, if you will, which have been fun to watch. But so have the Vikings. Vikings have been a great second half team all season long. I have Vikings win an NFC North and Vikings to win over 9.5 games. So I need the Vikings to win that game. I could see this being a ridiculous one coin flip one way or the other. Vikings somehow get a late touchdown or they just win by a field goal and I lose by the hook.
See,
So I'm not touching that one.
I feel like if the Commanders get out quick, then I'll be worried. But if they're having to play from behind like they have been with the last 3 wins, I don't think this Vikings team's a team to play from behind to. That's just what I'm thinking.
I would agree with that. This is, like I said, does the luck for the Commanders run out here? Maybe. Dalvin Cook should be able just to gash
He
this
should
team on
be.
the ground.
He should be. Whoever owns him in fantasy, hopefully you'll see some.
Yeah, I went with 0 running back. So if that happens and my running back basically dies, because that's what happened to every single one that we've drafted so far. And then I just text Cheah, I'm like, hey, I need another running back. And then I get 8 points from him. And it doesn't matter because you have Tyreek Hill and Cooper Kupp. So it's been great.
All right. So Kelly, you've been killing your best bets. I need to know what that is.
No, so the Bears was my
best bet.
Bears was my best bet. Next up is the Colts. Colts was like, I would say, so as I mentioned, Megan, I bet more prior to yesterday's show. I bet more NFL than I had college. Prior to yesterday's show, I only had bet
5 yesterday. Or am I
What's
mistaken? That was what did you get the Colts at? I thought I saw it at 5, right? Or was it right?
I have 5.5 from Tuesday. I do think this one might tick back up now that we know Jonathan Taylor is not a go. And that does, of course, concern me.
It's at 6 right now. It's plus
yeah,
minus 114.
Yeah, listen, this is a Patriots team that has kind of been on this weird roller coaster ride, right? And we know that Bill Belichick will not hesitate to bench Mac Jones. I'm not sure why he's going with Mac Jones. I know that everybody thought he was going to be the second coming of Tom Brady.
Ooh, Mac Jones.
Yeah, but even the fan base wants Bailey Zappi, so just give them what they want instead of having to bench Mac Jones here. Obviously, the Colts offensive line is a complete liability, which is why I don't think that Taylor not playing is a big deal, because he hasn't really had a big game per se this year because they don't protect anybody. That's why Matt Ryan was getting killed. Matt Ryan's also getting killed because he's older than me. So, of course, he's slow and injured. Sam Ehlinger looked rather impressive. I thought that he was going to get sacked a ton. I thought that maybe we would see a pick 6 or something crazy, but he had a pretty good QBR, a little over 100 last week. I do think that New England's got a solid defense. This game looks like a dead under game, but the Colts 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 as a road underdog. And had Taylor been playing, I probably would have made the Colts my best bet, but because he was not, I went with the Bears. As I mentioned, those 5.5 and 5-point spreads have been really profitable this year, especially when looking towards the team winning outright. So I did sprinkle on both of those money lines.
Well, hopefully that won't happen because I need the other side of that Bears game. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to have to wrap here in a second. Speaking of which, Kelly, I wanted to pat myself on the back for my Coastal pick yesterday. I fucking went back and forth so many times on that game, and that made me very happy. I lost the run line with the Astros. We got the win, so I'm fine there. Made my money back on Coastal. As I said, we were going to have to wrap here in a second. So, Cheah, I need you to wrap to me the rest of your props and the ways that I can make money.
Sure. So unfortunately, it is a little bit slower coming out this week, as a lot of them that I am looking at have not been fully released due to injuries and things like that. 2 numbers that I am closely monitoring. Austin Eckler, his catches. So Keenan Allen through the bye week, reports are that his hamstring injury actually got worse, which I don't know how that's possible.
You get fired on your day off?
Yeah, but he has 22 catches in his last 2 games. So I'm looking at what his reception number comes out at. They've just been so banged up ever, and Justin Herbert looks for him as just kind of a safety valve. He doesn't turn them into a ton. So we're talking about an average of 11 catches a game. He's averaging about 6.5 yards per reception. He's averaging 71.5 yards receiving in those last 2 games. So it's not a big number. His rushing numbers haven't been that large. But his receptions number, I'm interested. If it comes in 5.5 or if it comes in at 5.5 or lower, I'm going to take the under. Okay. Or sorry, the over 5.5.
Over 5.5.
Over. Yeah. Make sure y'all get that right. The over, not the under.
Yeah. I'm also looking forward to seeing some props are after this game and some passing numbers, but the completions are not yet. Kirk Cousins passing yards against the Commanders. Obviously, kind of a revenge game for him, having he played in Washington for so many years.
Like that?
Yeah, I was at
Okay,
that.
real quick, Jay, I wanted to touch on that because O'Connell, his new coach, was also in Washington.
Yep.
Do you think that can actually be part of a handicap here? Like we talk about narratives, but
Yeah,
there's no way to really
absolutely.
quantify. But I do think it's something worth noting.
Yep. So he's played Washington one time before. It was in 2019. He went 23 for 26. He did not throw a touchdown in that game, though. So I'm looking forward to seeing what his completions number is. He has been at 23 or more completions every game except one this season. So 6 out of 7 times he's been at 23 completions or higher. I'm looking forward to seeing what that number is. I'm expecting it to come in right around 23 and a half, in which case I am to take the over, but that is one I'm also monitoring. The last one I'll tell you about, and interesting, is Stephon Diggs. So he's going against the Jets, who have, by a lot of indications, maybe the best cornerback in the league right now. He's a rookie in Sauce Gardner. His over under the 8.5. That is one I'll be paying attention to just to see. I think it's going to be good on good, and I think Stephon Diggs is going to get targets and get receptions certainly. But I'm interested to see against Sauce Gardner, who's averaged, he's basically shut down guys all year.
Thank you for that Kirk Cousins narrative, because I completely that one just completely left my brain, and now I'm wearing purple proudly, pretty excited about it.
We're all wearing purple, Megan. Look what I got. Just for
Calm
Texas State Week.
down.
My
Calm
favorite t-shirt.
down.
I think I've worn this t-shirt 400 times since I bought it at the Barstool store. It's literally my favorite t-shirt ever.
Well, make sure you link it after the show. But as of now, we are going to go ahead and wrap. Make sure you're following Cheah, myself, and Kelly. Make sure you're liking and subscribe to the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube page, because you need this information all week long. And it'd be stupid for you not to rewatch the show. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you back on Monday, where we recap, hopefully, all of the winners and congratulate the Astros on potentially winning the World
Good
Series.
luck.
Thank you.